I'm Connor Link, Associate Editor of NBJ, and I'm here at the NBJ Summit with Scott Bush, VP of Marketing for DuPont, the company that just acquired his company Danisco. And DuPont's acquisition of Danisco was one of NBJ's 2011 Deals of the Year last year. Scott, what does it mean to you to win the Deal of the Year award?
Well, it's great to be recognized within the industry, being part of a much bigger company. We've gone from a $3-some billion company to a $30-some billion company. So, I mean, it's great to be part of DuPont. DuPont is a company that stresses values very similar to what we had at Danisco. And they're very much focused on the mega trends facing the world, which are feeding the population, which is going to grow from 7 to 9 billion people over the next several decades, which dovetails very nicely with what we were doing at Danisco. They're interested in energy and replacement of fossil fuels, and Danisco actually had a joint venture with DuPont looking at cellulosic ethanol prior to the acquisition. And they're also very much interested in protection of people and protection of the environment, which again dovetails very nicely with work we were doing at Danisco on extending, for instance, the shelf life of food, making food safer, inhibiting pathogens and contaminants. So there were a lot of similarities, and so far it looks like a very nice fit.
Okay. As for DuPont's, is this its first foray into the nutrition industry, or do they have a pipeline there already?
Yeah, DuPont has had a joint venture with Bunge, a company called Soleil, which is a soy protein business. And so they were already into the nutrition business, and just recently, DuPont has bought out Bunge, so now they're full owners of Soleil. So while Danisco got integrated into DuPont a year ago, now Soleil is getting integrated into DuPont. Okay. So yeah, there was that action in soy protein, which dovetails very nicely with the food ingredient business that came from Danisco.
Okay. And with feeding the world, I assume we also have to keep their guts healthy as well, and that's another place that Danisco fits in?
Yeah, and in several ways. When we look at gut health in general, of course, probiotics come to mind. Danisco is the leading probiotic supplier to the supplement industry, right, which we're here at NBJ to discuss. So we've got probiotics for gut health. We also have Lites, which is a polydextrose for gut health. It's fiber. And we've got lactitol, which is a laxative. And so gut health is one of 6 platforms for health, but probably the leading health platform that we've got within DuPont now.
Okay, and what is it about gut health? It's starting to resonate with consumers. They're starting to get more concerned about it. Is this really one of the conditions of the future?
Well, it seems to be one of the conditions of today,
right,
as well as the future. And whether it's people needing to eat better, whether it's stress, whether it's travel, people that are busy, there's a lot of impacts on gut health, and we're seeing that resonates. Probably of all the health platforms we're studying, it's the one that resonates most true with consumers and they can relate to the most. So, we're seeing in our probiotic area the most traction coming from gut health versus immune health. In our fiber area with our Lites polydextrose, again, a lot of traction with gut health. Same with our lactitol, for laxation. So of our 6 platforms, it's the one that really seems to resonate with consumers, for the future hopefully, but definitely for today as well.
Okay. And when you think of gut health, the first ingredient that comes to mind tends to be probiotics. Is that where the story starts and then it keeps going into fiber, into enzymes, or is probiotics sort of the main focus of the gut health market?
It depends if we're looking within DuPont or outside of DuPont. Within DuPont, probiotics, Lites polydextrose are 2 key and leading platforms into gut health. But when you look at beyond DuPont and say what else is out there, enzymes is another good one that you mentioned, which we don't currently market enzymes for gut health. But with the consumer, there's a resonation with that, right, and you start to see combination products, probiotics with enzymes, Lites with enzymes, with fibers with enzymes, some things like that. So, there's different ways to approach gut health. We've got certain platforms, and within those platforms, certain ingredients, but obviously there's ingredients outside of DuPont that tie in as well.
Okay. So what are you excited about this year at the NBJ Summit?
Well, I arrived to the summit just last evening, so you're asking somebody who's a little late getting here. But in terms of the talks I've been down today, a lot of focus on the future, what the future is going to look like, what are going to be not just the supplements for the future, but what are going to be the demographics of the future, what are going to be some of the trends within the industry. We talked about pharma, and I just sat through a session now where Bayer was represented, and the company that I work for, a unit of it used to be owned by Bayer a long time ago, and 20 years ago I couldn't get them excited about probiotics. Now they're launching probiotic products. Okay. So there's a lot of exciting things going on here, both with changes in the market space, changes in the products that we're offering, and changes in the people that are here as well. Starting to see a little more food company interaction here. Right. I just watched a panel with a gentleman from Pepsi, Whereas this used to be very much a supplement, I would say, oriented get-together. Much more interest now in the food industry and the farm industry than ever before.
I'm sure that plays well to your expertise. Probiotics and fiber play a large role in the food industry these days.
Well, food industry and supplement industry. So it really plays to our strength in both cases. Yeah.
Okay. Scott, great talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Appreciate it.
Scott Bush, DuPont and Danisco.